We are live now.
Okay. So shall we start, ma'am?
Yes.
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. I warmly welcome you all to this expert lecture on career pathways in law and legal profession, organized by the Sri Sathya Law College for Women, Bhopal. I extend my sincere gratitude towards our respected director, Dr. Pratibha Singh ma'am, our esteemed principal, Dr. Renu Mishra ma'am, and our law principal, Dr. Anju Vajpayee ma'am, for their constant guidance and support. Now, I would like to invite our respected law principal, Dr. Anju Vajpayee ma'am, to kindly address the gathering.
I'm visible. Okay. Om Shri Sai Ram. Good afternoon and warm welcome to everyone present. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our chairman, Dr. Jambu Bhandari ji, secretary Shri K.K. Nair ji, all respected trustees, respected director, Madam Dr. Pratibha Singh, Principal Dr. Renu Mishra, Science Dean Dr. Archana Srivastav, IQAC in charge Dr. Neena Arora, distinguished expert Ms. Shraddha Varnawal, my dear faculty members, IT team and students for today's expert lecture on career pathways in law and the legal profession. We are also live streaming this session on YouTube. The legal profession today offers diverse career opportunities, including the legal profession today offers diverse career opportunities, including litigation, judiciary, corporate law, legal consultancy, academia, public service, and legal entrepreneurship. This expert lecture aims to broaden our understanding of these opportunities and help you to make informed career choices. I am confident that today's session will inspire you, answer your questions, and provide valuable guidance for your professional journey. I sincerely thank our esteemed expert for sharing their valuable time and expertise with us. I encourage all participants to actively engage in this session and make the most of this learning opportunity. Thank you all. Over to Priyamvada.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. It is now my privilege to introduce our resource person for today, Ms. Shraddha Baranwal. Ma'am, Assistant Professor at Dr. Ram Manohar Lohiya National Law University, Lucknow. Ms. Baranwal has previously served at UPS Dehradun with an experience of over 9 years. She has also served at Honorable Supreme Court of India as law researcher, and her areas of interest include constitutional law, environment law, with a recent focus on plant varieties and the rights of indigenous people. She has published in various reputed journals such as Springer Nature and Thomson Reuters, and also co-edited a book on cyber law. Now, we are truly honored to have you with us, ma'am. With this, I now invite Ms. Shraddha Baranwal, ma'am, to kindly begin the session. Over to you, ma'am.
I hope I'm audible now. Premada, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you for giving that introduction. And good afternoon, Anju ma'am. Good afternoon, Priyamvada. I'm always honored to have such opportunities from you. Taking over to the lecture, I hope all the new students have already gone through some sessions of orientation, or is this the first one?
Ma'am, they have actually gone through an orientation program previously.
Okay. So since they have already gone through a little bit part of it, before I start, I would like to ask some of the participants in this session what career opportunities they they have thought before joining or before selecting the course in law. Quickly, you can use the chat and quickly respond to that.
Students जो मैम ने क्वेश्चन पूछे हैं, प्लीज उनका आंसर कीजिए. And if anyone faces any problem, they can also ask to ma'am.
What career options you have thought while taking, okay, judiciary, any other? Corporate law, litigation, CS plus LLB, that's corporate compliance. Okay, judiciary. IPPS law officer, wonderful. Criminal law. Any other option? Any other response? Judiciary for now. International law. Okay,
Uh,
keep writing. Legal journalism. I was actually waiting for this. Legal journalism.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you, but you're not visible actually. You're audible but not visible.
Hmm. Am I visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So I'm getting a lot of options in the chat box relating to judiciary, relating to legal journalism, relating to corporate law. Why did I ask these options from you? Before I continue with the career options, please remember your degree should not be a barrier for you. You will never consider that since you have done law, you will be only restricted to law. You may have multidisciplinary career. You may have certain other additional advanced career with the background of law. That is why I asked you this specific question. And most of the answers which I am getting in the chat box, they are talking about traditional venues of legal profession, such as judiciary, practice, corporate law. A couple of people also mentioned about legal journalism. Beyond this, do you see the scope of law anywhere? Has anybody heard about Indian Law Services? Has anybody heard about Indian Law Services? What is that? Harshita?
Ma'am, while I was interning on the Department of Legal Affairs in Delhi, I actually came across this particular department of Indian legal. There was a department in which it was named as Indian Legal Department of Under Department of Legal Affairs only. This is a particular branch in which all the sorts of a particular legal team is being assigned for the job of for the government, so that any legal matter or any legal news that are coming that needs to be placed in front of a government can be done smoothly.
Okay, wonderful. So you do have fair idea about how these things work. Talking about career in law, if you look at your daily life, law is everywhere. Birth, you require registration. Death, you require registration. So from birth to death, there is the involvement of law at every such place. Talking about specific career options. Nowadays, when we take law as career option, initially it used to be traditionally the practice, either corporate litigation or general litigation. But nowadays there are uh, multiple avenues in law which are multidisciplinary. So it is not the case that it is only your law degree which helps you to get the job. It is also what you have pursued before law. So people from science background are well suited for patent departments. People from arts background are well suited for policy making. People from commerce background are well suited for taxation practices. And talking about practice area also, unlike the traditional belief that practice is all about going to the court, arguing the case, and getting the relief. It is not so nowadays. Nowadays, your practice involves a lot of research work, which is done in house, which is done while sitting in the office. You don't need to go to the court. So, while moving further with the available career options, apart from litigation, and litigation you can choose. In litigation, either you can go for general litigation or you can go for corporate litigation. Now, how would you choose the litigation? What will be the parameters if you decide to go for litigation? Choose an area where you have some background. It will make it easy. Also, when you select a particular area, try to look for the type of cases that area generally has. For example, if you look at Delhi, Delhi has a lot of service matters. Delhi has a lot of policy matters. But Delhi will not have a lot of land matters. The land matters will be in a different capacity, mostly handled by big law firms because the issues are very huge. But if you belong to a rural setup, if you belong to a semi-urban setup, land matters will top over service matters, they will top over any other commercial litigation. Similarly, when you choose litigation, let me give you a very fair idea about the fact in litigation, unless until you have the background, you will not have money immediately pouring in. So what you do if you want to sustain in litigation without having any backup, there are certain ways to create some side income from law itself. So becoming AOR, getting associated with multiple offices, getting involved in independent drafting, these are certain areas which can create a separate income for you while you continue your journey in litigation. Suppose you don't want to continue in litigation and you want to explore other areas of law. What can we do? Because judiciary has age limit, judiciary has its own limits with respect to preparation, and it is a different kind of, it requires a different kind of commitment. If you don't want to go in there, but still you want to continue with the litigation, but not traditional litigation, then what are the other career avenues which you can utilize? Another type of litigation which you can pursue by minimizing your personal risk, that is with the law firms. So generally law firms have two kind of uh, two kind of practice. One is their corporate practice where they are involved in drafting, they are involved in contract making, they are involved in due diligence. Another aspect of law firm is their corporate litigation. That's one area which you can explore while you want to minimize your litigation risk as well as you want to earn money. So for initial few years, you can get attached to a law firm. You can work with them in their lit department. And after some time, you can have your own law firms continuing with the same. Now, suppose you don't want to practice at all, not regular litigation, not corporate litigation, then what else you can do? Because you still want to have court experience. Then nowadays you have certain specialized fields such as taxation or ADR. They also open a venue for you where you can regularly visit the court, you can regularly get court experience without getting involved in the regular litigation or corporate litigation. With respect to taxation, the practice initially is technical, but with time it becomes streamlined. So after few cases, you will be more regular with the taxation practices. You will be more informed about how taxation offices work. Talking about ADR, anybody who has any idea about ADR, alternate dispute resolution, how it works? Outside court settlement, okay. Arbitration. What else? Mediation. Okay. So talking about arbitration practices, see nowadays arbitration has become one of the most sought after legal profession. In arbitration, you can have two separate domains. One is domestic arbitration, one is international arbitration. International arbitration is generally pursued by the law firms or pursued by the retired judges or pursued by the senior advocates. But for entry level, like you can always go for domestic arbitration. Domestic arbitration will bring a lot of money for you, but it also requires a lot of interpersonal skills. Unlike legal skills which you require for litigation, arbitration will require not only your legal skills but also interpersonal skills, because here you will be required not only to assess the legal parameters but also to assess the possible collateral damages, possible gains for both the parties. And talking about ADR, why ADR is becoming a very sought after practices nowadays? ADR is mostly done with less expenses. It is mostly done in a lesser time. It is mostly done in the more streamlined manner. Court procedure always takes a toll on both the parties because there you will be required to have stamp duty, you will be required to pay court, you will be required to pay other expenses. But ADR is less formal. So ADR practices also nowadays has become pretty good career option. Beyond litigation, coming to judiciary, as entry level judicial officers, you will be having the venue of giving competitive exams, and through that, you can become civil judges, from civil judges to district judge. And if you're lucky enough, you may be elevated to the high court as well. But the ratio of such elevation to the high court through promotion is very less. It is mostly direct elevation from the bar. So if you want to pursue a career as a judge in the High Court, you better dedicate yourself towards practice for 10-15 years, and thereafter you will be taken in the High Court. Now, if these two traditional options are not for you and you want to explore something more, somebody mentioned legal journalism. Who mentioned legal journalism? Somebody mentioned legal journalism as a career option. I guess,
Ananya.
was that Harshita, Ananya? Who
No,
was
no,
that?
no, Ananya. Ananya.
Okay. Ananya, for legal journalism, only the law degree is not enough. You will be required one more diploma or a degree in mass communication. So to be a legal correspondent, it is always advisable to plan your internships in such a way that you get an opening with any of the news houses, any of such news portals. So while you are planning to have legal journalism as a career option, I would suggest you that as soon as you finish your checklist, give me some time to talk about checklist also. As soon as you finish your law degree checklist, please plan your internships around legal journalism portfolio. So intern with news houses, do intern with the publication houses, do intern with the research houses, policy making. That will open venues for legal journalism. I was talking about the checklist. What is the checklist for any lawyer? The day you enroll in any law course, please maintain a diary. Write in that diary at least three moot courts, three moot competitions, two national, one international, at least considering 5 years, at least three good publications, considering 5 years, at least one internship, one with the government department, one with the lit office, one with the corporate, and one whatever you wish to. But some mandatory internships. And while you are doing this 5 year law course, also dedicate yourself to doing some diploma courses side by side, which will be aligned with your chosen stream of career. So if you plan to make a career in, let's say, IPR, if you plan to make a career, let's say, in intellectual property rights, so while you are doing your LLB or LLM, plan to do a diploma course, plan to do a certificate course, which will educate you more on the IPR side. If you plan to do something on cyber law, then plan to do a side by side course, which will enhance. See, the idea here is when you complete your course, you will not be competing just against your classmates. You will be competing against lakhs of students who are graduating every year as a lawyer. So your search for law will not be among your classmates. It will be outside that, and competition will be very high. So a simple law degree will not be enough. Along with the law degree, please complete these checklists and plan for it in your first year itself. Now moving to other areas of career option. A major career option can be multiple government departments. So you have Ministry of Finance, you have Ministry of Law and Justice, you have Ministry of Environment, you have Supreme Court, you have lot many other departments, high courts, Supreme Courts, which offer very good experience, very good job prospect to a fresh law graduate. You may not continue in these offices for the rest of your life, but the kind of experience they will give you, it will really enhance your career options further. Specifically talking about policy making, talking about joining the treaty division or drafting division under Ministry of Law and Justice. It truly prepares you for any opportunity abroad. Similarly, the contractual opportunity for law researcher, which takes place in Supreme Court and High Courts. I hope you are aware of it. Law researcher come law clerks. Is anybody aware of it? Law researcher come law clerks?
मैम इज आस्किंग क्या आप में से किसी को पता है लॉ रिसर्चर कम लॉ क्लर्क वाली पोजीशन के बारे में? एनीबडी?
ओके, मैं बता देती हूँ आपको. लॉ रिसर्चर कम लॉ क्लर्क्स, इट्स अ पोजीशन which is opened with Supreme Court as well as High Court. And your role in this portfolio is limited to doing research for the real cases pending in the High Court, pending in the Supreme Court, all the sub judice matters. You will also be involved in the judgment drafting. You will also be involved in judges briefing. Judges briefing means you will be briefing the judges on the matters which are listed for the day. And how it enhances your learning and also it enhances your career option. First of all, if you work with a judge, it's a very good recommendation to enter into law field. It's a very good portfolio to go for law schools abroad. It's a very good portfolio to open any entry for you in any policy making, because working with the judges will expose you to the real life cases. It will expose you to the changing law. It will expose you to the day to day judgments. And it will also expose you to the fact how judges decide, how judges deal with a matter, and how judgments are pronounced. What are the underlying factors? And these things are something which you do not learn just by reading the books. So, law researcher come law clerk, it is a very good career option for the beginning. The only demerit, the only restriction in this portfolio is it is a contractual opening. So you will be working maximum for 1 year or 2 years, not more than that. After that, you will be required to look for another job. But once you have worked in this portfolio and you have been able to impress, you have been able to convince the judge about your capabilities, then there is no looking back. All these judges are more than happy to recommend you for law firms. They are happy to recommend you for multiple other places. Another very good option which you can go for while doing law is turning out legal officer for multiple government departments, including army. In armed forces, there are 3 streams, and all these 3 streams are open for lawyers to join as a law officer. You will get all the army benefits, an army officer's life, good rank, good designation, good salary, and a very fine work. So it's a very well suited portfolio for a law graduate. The only thing is your physical fitness, your commitment to health should be top notch. Another area which you can really look at as a law career is publication. Not many people are aware of it, but Thomson Reuters, LexisNexis, all these big publication houses, they are dependent on law graduates for editing, for planning the books, for foolproofing, for proofreading of the books. And this work, trust me, is not an easy work. Once you see how many stages of foolproofing, how many stages of uh, re-examination any LexisNexis book goes, you will realize how difficult and how important this task is. The money is good in publication, and publications mostly open door for you in academics as well. So later on, if you want to write, if you want to do research, publication houses become very good opportunity as entry level opening. Another area which you can explore is academics. Anybody who is inclined to academics, the way me and Premvada ma'am has explored academic positions? Anybody is inclined? Okay. So nowadays, academics is offering good money. It is offering very good experience. It is offering opportunity to read for the lifetime. If you are into reading, if you are into writing, academics can be best suited for your legal skills. In academics, but again, if you want to pursue academics, my suggestion to you is complete your education first. So do LLB, do LLM, and pursue a PhD, then enter academics. Because once you enter the job, and you leave your PhD behind, it is difficult to pursue along with a regular job. So finish the education first, then go for academics. Academics gives you, it is the most, trust me, it is the most autonomous job. You have command over your subject, you have command over the syllabus, you have command over the class. You are master of your own profession. So if you are inclined to academics, sometimes it gets monotonous, but otherwise, academics is a very good field which can be explored. Now, moving further to other offbeat law careers. Have you ever heard about NGOs recruiting lawyers? Career in NGOs. Have you ever thought about career in NGOs as a lawyer? It's a common notion that NGOs do not pay well. But don't think about NGOs only in India. Through NGOs, you can very well land a job in UN. And UN has its own treaty division. UN has its own legal division, which is a wonderful opportunity. So NGOs also is a good option for any lawyer to start a career with. But again, while you're working for an NGO as a lawyer, please be very clear about which particular area you want to work. For example, there is this institute called CUTS International. CUTS International is a non-profit organization and it specifically does research on economic policies, consumer policies, political policies. If you're not inclined on any of these, you probably join some other NGOs. So while you are selecting an NGO for your law profession, continuing your law skill, choose a particular NGO which is specifically dedicated to your area of interest. So moving further, now talking about career option in international law. International law and international organizations. While talking about international law and international organizations, the easiest way to move to international organizations is the NGO or any policy making organization. That's the easiest way to reach over there. Also, when you want to do any work with international organizations or in international law, I would advise you to dedicate yourself from your very first year to the research, reading, and writing. Write a lot. Any opportunity outside India, what you have written, how well you have written, that will open the door for you outside. They don't want to have people who are just law graduates. They would like to have people who are into serious research, who are into serious policy making. So start writing from your very first year onwards. And I'll tell you this, Abrams law. Don't wait for being good at writing. You will never become a good swimmer unless until you go into the water. Start writing. If you can't write an article, open a page, start writing blogs. With time, automatically your writing skills will improve. You don't have to do it deliberately. One after another, you will improve by default. So by the time you will finish up maintaining a blog for 1 year, in second year, you will be good enough to go with international publications. But for that, you will have to constantly write. And how you would do that? What is the easy way? Suppose today you had the class for constitution law and Article 14 was taught to you. Write a note on Article 14, a very small note on Article 14. Tomorrow you have law of contract class and you have been taught laws relating to communication, completion of communication. Write a small write-up on that. This is how you begin with. Open a page dedicated to law. Open a page which is dedicated to a particular stream of law. See, research writing will help you not only with law firms, it will help you in international opportunities, it will help you in government departments. For a lawyer, it is highly important to read and write. So start doing that from the very first year. Other career options which you can work in, that is becoming an independent lawyer, setting up your own practice, and continuing with your own practice in different areas of law. And with time, you develop expertise in a particular stream, particular area of law. So that also is available to you. Apart from that, there are multiple government companies, multiple government corporations. So you have ONGC, you have BPCL, you have BHEL. In fact, DRDO also has a law division. There is no company, there is no corporation, no uh, no organization which does not have a legal division. So that is always open for you. Sometimes they take you through your CLAT score. Sometimes they take you through open vacancies. Sometimes they take you on the basis of interview. So that's again one option which you can explore. Another option which you can explore is legal position in banking sector. This is also a kind of stable, sorted job which you can do. But for that, you require certain exams which recruit you as the entry point is legal officer in any of the bank. And if it's a public bank, you become a government officer. Another area in which you can work in company compliance or corporate compliance. Somebody mentioned LLB plus CS. Company secretary, LLB plus CS. So when you do this kind of, when you pursue this dual course, you do LLB, along with that, you are able to clear CS. You have openings with the organizations, with companies like PwC, Z Limited. You have these kind of openings. Every company will require corporate compliance. It's a very good work for any fresher to continue with. Apart from that, do you have any specific role which you want to ask about? Because I'm still reserving one role, which I have not yet discussed. Any specific role you want to ask about? Tripti, with aviation law, mostly law firms are doing this practice because in aviation law, mostly the practice is of two types. Either you deal with the customer related issues or you deal with compliance related issues. In compliance related issues, again, it's a LLB plus CS. But with respect to consumer related issues, mostly law firms are pursuing it, sometimes individual lawyers also. That's a very good question. How to enter into publication? The most easiest option is go through multiple law school websites, which includes the regular law schools, the 20 plus law schools, as well as private institutions as well. Go through their website, look for the publication notification. They will announce that they are coming out with this journal or that journal. Look at the specifications of that journal. Any such announcement will disclose word limit. It will disclose the subject area they are looking for. It will disclose the citation method which is required, and it will also disclose the time limit, the time period within which you will have to send your article. Read those things carefully and start writing accordingly. Okay, somebody has asked about ADPO, that's Assistant District Prosecution Officer. For that, you have exam which you will have to clear. For JAG, Army conducts its own exam. which has to be cleared. And JAG also requires minimum fitness. So your exam is not only for getting into JAG, but also to clear all the exams, the physical fitness is mandatory. How much is Masters in Law important nowadays? Okay. If you want to go into litigation, you don't require Masters. Depends, you want it or you don't want it. But if you want to go for a specific career stream, then nowadays Masters is offered with multiple specialized areas such as IPR, taxation, cyber law. So if you want to pursue a particular specialized field or academics, then Masters is a good option. And definitely Masters, it definitely improves your chances. It improves, it also opens multiple other areas of work. So Masters is always a good option. But my suggestion to you is if you have already done, if you have already pursued one degree in India or one degree from traditional law schools, then prefer another degree, LLM degree from abroad. And you get two kinds of scholarships for that. One is merit based, one is need based. It is always a good option to get merit based scholarship that improves your chances and that also creates a different standard. But for that, if you're not getting merit based scholarship immediately after your undergraduation, please work for a couple of years and apply for merit based scholarship. Do not use your own money. Pursuing masters abroad is very costly. Even if you have money, do not use it. Go for scholarships. And find a jurisdiction which is best in your chosen field of study. So if you want to go for technology law, please go to Europe. If you want to go for, let's say, traditional areas, constitutionalism, go to UK. So do a good search. If you want to study about, okay, masters in criminology, US is best option to go. Apart from preparing for judiciary exam, what other things should a law student do to build? Okay. Okay. Gunjan, for NGOs, while you are preparing for judicial services, my suggestion to you is not only prepare for judiciary, prepare for UPSC, judiciary will be cleared. And if you have prepared well, probably UPSC will be cleared. So take both of them. In UPSC, prepare for UPSC, take judiciary, take law as a optional subject. You will be able to crack both if you prepare well. And talking about NGO, see NGOs, suppose you are interested to work in environment law. On Google, search for top NGOs working for environment law. Send your CV to all those NGOs. Wait for a couple of months. Then send your CV to second category of NGOs. Whatever NGOs are working in environment law, keep sending your CVs, keep asking for work profile. If you don't want to work for environment, let's say you want to work for child rights, look for top NGOs working for child rights. And along with NGOs, you can also look for specific departments which are working for that issue. For example, you can work for Central Agency for Intercountry Adoption if you're interested in child welfare. You can work for human right, um, state human right commissions if you're interested in human right. You can work for institutes like State Pollution Control Board, Central Pollution Control Board, if you're interested in environment. So do not only restrict to NGOs while you want to work for in policy making or you want to work for socially relevant areas. You can also look at government departments for it. How to get scholarship? First of all, for scholarships, whichever country you are applying to, you will be required to clear the test for their language proficiency. So completing the test, and then for a scholarship, you must have a very good publication background. Write an SOP to that university for joining the course. If your SOP is good, you have good publications, and you are done with the exams for their language proficiency, there is no reason why you won't get it. You will be getting it. I am not able to see your name. It's only Xiaomi, Attorney General of India. See, Attorney General of India, they do not get selected through an open post or open exam. Attorney General of India is a political post. Those lawyers who are senior, who have a lot of experience, and Government of India believes that they can well represent the Government of India, they are directly taken. So this post will be available to you once you have done considerable work in the legal profession. It is not for entry level. Okay, the last thing which I have been saving till now, you can become a writer. You can be a professional legal writer. I am giving you a task today. Please look for this name, Madhav Khosla and Gautam Bhatia. Please look for these two names. Both these people are writing phenomenal books on constitutional law, and they have become authority on constitutional law. How it brings money to them? Firstly, they are getting money because of their books, the sale, and since they are considered as expert in constitutional law, they are sometimes in the discussion panel for which they are paid. They are going to universities for which they are paid. They are into giving lectures to multiple universities for which they are getting paid, and they are minting money like anything. So legal writing is a wonderful career, but for legal writing, the kind of expertise, the kind of dedication it requires, I think that will be highest compared to any other stream, compared to any other legal option. Since in other professions, you prepare for it, once you are taken into that, it is only studying for job. But in legal writing, you are constantly required to stay updated. You are constantly required to have information. You are constantly required to keep writing. So it's a very demanding field. But legal writing is a wonderful area to explore. One thing also you can do, you can also work with the multiple hiring agencies who are hiring, who are serving lawyers. You can also work for LPOs, legal processing outsourcing. So these are certain venues which can be explored further. Any other question which you would like to ask? By the way, you can also think about bank jobs and insurance companies, they do have open vacancies. For that, keep looking at advertisements. You can also look for an interesting career option, which is not that popular nowadays. Coaching institutes. Providing coaching for CLAT, providing coaching for judiciary. Three, four of you can join together. You can open a coaching institute, or you can join it for the time being initially to get a first-hand experience of the same. So coaching institutes is yet again a very good option for a career in law. And keep an eye on Navratna companies. They do have opening for lawyers as legal officer, as legal manager. Most of them would like to have your CLAT score. Most of them mandated that you should have a CLAT score. So while you are doing your undergrad, please appear for CLAT LLM. That score will be good enough to apply to the Navratna companies. Thus preparing for it makes to a large extent. To a large extent. Earlier, CLAT used to be descriptive, so that time it was difficult. But now CLAT, I believe it's objective type as far as my information is concerned, because I gave CLAT long back in 2008. So nowadays it's, I think, OMR sheet based. So it will be. CLAT requires knowledge of your basic subjects. The same thing is required for judiciary. And for judiciary, let me give you a very interesting tip so that you prepare well for judiciary. Start with the bare acts. Don't start with the judicial services competitive exam books. Start with the bare acts. And bare acts, read them in a fashion that you know the entire organization of a subject. Learn it chapter wise. I don't have enough time to give briefing on that. Otherwise, I would have told you. Just in brief, suppose if you are preparing for judiciary and you want to prepare law of contract, prepare a chart, write all the chapters, and write a graphical connection of provisions to each other. So if you are reading the components of a valid contract, your section which discusses consideration should be automatically read together. If you are reading provision relating to validity and invalidity of contract, your sections is specifically providing what will make something invalid, what are the grounds. You should be reading the grounds together. So do that connection, make that chart, you will be able to remember. And focus on procedural papers, focus on Constitution of India, jurisprudence for judicial services exams. Any other specific question? Okay, Premvida, then I think I am done with the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to all those who made this session truly insightful and successful. First and foremost, I sincerely thank our esteemed resource person, Ms. Shraddha Banarwal ma'am, for delivering such an enlightening session and for sharing her valuable knowledge and experience with her students. I extend my deep gratitude to our respected director, ma'am, Dr. Pratibha Singh, ma'am, our esteemed principal, Dr. Renu Mishra, ma'am, and our respected Law College principal, Dr. Anju Bajpayee, ma'am, for their constant support and encouragement in organizing such academic initiatives. I would also like to thank all the faculty members and dear students for their active participation and enthusiasm. With this, we conclude today's session. Thank you, all of you, once again. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.